Hey, what's up guys, Steven here and welcome back to another video, and today we're upgrading my living room with a Sonos Dolby Atmos sound system featuring the Sonos Era 300. Well guys, if you follow me for a longer time, you might already know I have a Sonos system in my gaming room and I absolutely love it. But then my wife came up to me and she said, isn't it a bit selfish to have this amazing setup in your room? So it's about time to change something in the living room. And we have only a TV here which sounds really awful, so it's not really a pleasure to watch movies. But today we're going to change that, and also I will give you some tips on how to get Dolby Atmos if you have an older television without eARC. So let's go and let's check it out.
Well, here we go again with another Sonos setup. Now just to explain the setup we're building and why I chose this, let's have a closer look at my gaming room. My gaming room is 28 square meters and in there I have the Beam 2nd generation, 2 Sonos One SL and a Sonos Sub Mini. For this room the setup is for me perfect. It's really great sound, rear filling and some bass from the Sub Mini. In fact, I was so happy with the Beam 2nd generation that I wanted it as well in my living room. Even though the living room is bigger, but we'll talk about this a bit later. Now to get the full Dolby Atmos experience, we will be using the new Sonos Era 300. With the Era series, Sonos introduced two new speakers, the Era 300 and the Era 100. The Era 300 is the larger of the two. Weighing around 4.5 kilograms, it's not quite as big or heavy as the Sonos 5, but it's definitely something you will need to clear a space for rather than just squeezing it in one shelf. The Era 100, however, isn't a huge departure from the Sonos One. In fact, it's almost exactly the same size as the Sonos One, and at 2 kilograms it's only slightly heavier. Both the Era 300 and the 100 come with the same set of capacitive touch controls, allowing you to play, pause, skip, replay, adjust the volume and mute the voice assistant, and also group or ungroup Sonos products without having to reach for your phone. There's also a Bluetooth button for pairing new devices that aren't on your Wi-Fi network, plus a little light that shows a connection status and indicates microphone activity and also confirms whether mute is active or not. But what speaker should you pick as surrounds? Now let's have a closer look on the inside. You will get 4 tweeters and 2 woofers inside the Era 300, with one tweeter pointing upwards so the sound can be bounced off the ceiling and the others angled to fill the rest of the room. The whole lot is powered by 6 Class D amplifiers. The Era 100, however, has 2 angled tweeters and 1 mid-woofer, which is an upgrade on the Sonos One, but obviously far fewer than the Era 300. It also has half as many Class D amps inside, but that's still 1 per driver, plus it's more compact. The Era 300's extra drivers and also their special arrangement mean it's capable of something the Era 100 cannot do, and this is playing back spatial audio and Dolby Atmos. Now my intentions were we need to have Dolby Atmos for the living room, so if you got 2 Era 300s, you can pair them with either the Sonos Arc or the Beam 2nd generation soundbar and unlock the full-on Dolby Atmos surround sound. And that's basically why I installed the Beam 2nd generation and wall mounted the 2 Era 300s on the left and right of the sofa. Now there are plenty of wall mounts available, so you can choose the official ones from the Sonos store, aftermarket ones, or even 3D print your own. And now to get the really shaking Atmos experience, I've also added a Sonos Sub Gen 3 to the party, which I placed next to the couch. What's really great about the Sub is that it has been designed in a way that it doesn't vibrate when you're listening. There is nothing worse than having a super powerful Sub and everything is vibrating and shaking. So the Sub will take over the lowest frequencies in your audio, which enhances the mids and the highs on the speakers it's paired with. I also noticed that already on the Sub Mini, once it's paired with the system, the speakers just sound better. And also the sound is more detailed and rich. The Sub can achieve a frequency response as low as 25 Hz, which is close to the lowest possible frequency a human ear can hear, which is around 20 Hz. And also it is a smart subwoofer. The Sub also knows which Sonos products that it has been paired with and will adjust its sound profile to give you the best full Sonos experience. So it's not giving you the same bass with every speaker you pair it with, which is great. Now the woofer is also completely wireless, so just plug in the power and there you go, and that's what I really love about Sonos. Also, the wireless communication and the acoustics of the Sonos Sub have been designed in such a way that it benefits from being non-directional. Now this is perfect because it gives you the maximum flexibility as to where you want to position the sub. So that means it's possible to stand it upright or lay it down flat with no compromises, and you don't need to think too much where you position your sub. So after that it was time for the app configuration. So you just download the Sonos app and it will greet you with configuring the Sonos Beam. After that you can add the surrounds and also the subwoofer. Now the process was super smooth and simple and the setup was done in a few minutes, but afterwards you should really take some time and do the true play tuning. Now when tuning the Era 100 or 300, iOS users have two different true play options to choose from. You can either do the quick tuning or the advanced tuning. Now Android users can go through the quick tuning process only. Now the reason for that is quite simple. There are so many Android phones out there which all have microphones of different characteristics. So Sonos cannot support all of that. That's why the advanced tuning is for iOS devices only. Now quick tuning uses the built-in microphone on your Era 100 or 300 to tune itself for its current location. The microphone switch must be on in order for the speaker to go through the quick tuning. But iOS users can choose to go through the advanced tuning process, and the Sonos app uses your iOS device's microphone to perform a more precise tuning of your Era 100 or Era 300. And the advanced tuning process is the same true play process currently available for most Sonos products. So during the advanced tuning you also have to walk through the room with your phone, but after that it gives you really a much better sound customized to your room. And of course, after the tuning you can still adjust things in the app like the height adjustment for Atmos, the equalizer, you can still level the surrounds, you can also adjust the subwoofer. Also you can set up if you want to a voice assistant like Google Home or Alexa, which is pretty cool too. Now personally for me, the smart features of Sonos such as multi-room play and easy streaming from phones makes the sound system for me superior to old-fashioned home cinema systems. And also for spatial music, this setup sounds really great. So now the system is complete, but it's very important to also feed it with the proper signals, otherwise you won't get the right experience out of it. Now my TV is a bit older, it doesn't have an eARC port, but I'm using an eARC sound extractor. So that's a little box you can just hide behind your television. So this tiny box takes the signal from my PlayStation and supplies eARC sound with Atmos support to the Sonos Beam, and the image goes pass-through to the television without any latency. So this is really a good solution if you want to get the best quality out of it, but you have an old television. But just keep in mind the PlayStation needs to be configured as well. Alright, after that it was time for the testing and I was already pretty excited, so I bought a Blu-ray of Dune with Atmos. And the PlayStation 4 Pro I'm using supports Atmos from Blu-rays, but not from the apps on it. So to really test it, I wanted to hear the full Atmos experience, so I had to get this Blu-ray. And guys, it's absolutely crazy. This is the first time in my life I really felt like that's a proper home cinema system. And it doesn't have huge towers, it just has the speakers there in the back, the soundbar and the subwoofer that you can almost not see. So that's really one of the reasons why I like Sonos. It fits really well in the room and it sounds powerful. However, I think the Sonos Arc is the better choice for this setup. It's possible with the Beam, but the Arc, due to more speakers, will give you a better Atmos result. And I really need to try a comparison, but so far I'm absolutely happy with it, but I really need to see how the Arc performs in the setup. Also, Dolby Digital 5.1 sounds great on that setup, even though it's not Atmos. Especially for playing, I really noticed where the enemies come from in Warzone, and also rear sounds from racing games, they were really a pleasure. I know sound tests on YouTube are quite useless, as you probably don't have the speakers to experience it, but yeah, here is a quick sound test.
nothing to our order. But his wife is under our protection, and by extension,
Well guys, we're now here at the end of this video. I really hope that you have enjoyed it so far. And now quickly my personal opinion. So when I just teased what I'm going to install in my living room, some people said, well, it doesn't make sense to use the Era 300s as surrounds with the Beam 2nd generation. And don't judge the Beam 2nd generation by the look. Now it looks like a really tiny soundbar, but it is really crazy powerful for the size. Of course, the Sonos Arc is probably the more premium option, but you can also pair the Era 300 with the Beam 2nd generation. And I tried it here in my room. The room is really quite big, but it fills the room. It is powerful in combination with the sub. You really get everything you want to. But I would also be very excited to listen it to in comparison to the Sonos Arc, maybe in the future in another update video. But so far I have to say I'm really happy. Now, of course, we get the best experience out of the Sonos Beam 2nd generation, the whole setup, if you have a TV with eARC. But if you don't have that, you can use the eARC extractors, as you have seen. There are various options on the market, but make sure to choose one that is compatible. I will list you some down below in the description. Anyhow, Sonos for me personally, it's just beautiful from the design, so it fits everything, it matches here in the room. My wife doesn't like tech too much, so for her it would be really, let's say, a pain to have huge towers of speakers here. But as you can see, the Era 300 here fits very well in the room, and you get the same sound experience than if you have a tower with plenty of speakers in there. So some people in the comments on my Sonos videos, they always say, yeah, there are better options out there, also cheaper options. But for me, it's the whole package, it's the whole combination. The combination of being smart speakers, then also the design, and of course the powerful sound. So the overall package with a Sonos sound system is for me uncomparable. Alrighty guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or something I should try out, make sure to leave a comment down below. And as always, I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.